Hey everybody, Scoutcrafter here again. It's part two. Let's get right into it. See what I got at the Jacktown show. So as you can see, it was really a perfect day, and we were hanging out. We were all talking about different things, walking around, and I couldn't have had a better time. I'm telling you, it was just fantastic. And the one thing is, I'll tell you that there was three of us, that were hanging out looking at this one steamroller from 1923. And it was the most beautiful piece of machinery. I can't believe I didn't get any video. Hopefully 357 Magdad got a shot of it or two. I don't know why I didn't videotape it, but we had a great time. And now I promised, I said, I'm not buying stuff, but I can't help myself. There are a couple things. I came home with a little bit, not like I used to, but let me show you some of the highlights of some great stuff I got. First off, we're going to start off with the inexpensive stuff. Everything here that you see was like $1 each, except for these. I had a whole box of these for $0.25 a piece, and sometimes you do a project, you just need a quick hand pull or something, and I liked how they were countersunk, and for $0.25 each, I had to buy them. But he had a whole box full of them. And crowbars, I can't pass by $1 crowbar, I just can't do it. Drift punch, nice pair of pliers we're going to be doing on here. And this I have. You're going to love what I'm going to do. You are going to love what I'm going to do with this chisel. Again, $1. And, of course, the dollar. And I always get a kick out of these ball peen. This is a big one. This is a big ball peen head, right? But look at the little the little drift they have for the handle. That's why these handles always break, because you got this huge, it says 32, that's not 32 ounces. I don't think this is, but it's a big, head with this little handle. That's why they're always breaking. And that's what happened with here. It's just, I always find it fascinating why with these ball peens that they always have such small handles. Next up are the $4 or $5 items. This here is a plum. You can see here. Can you see the writing on there? It is a plum. This is a specialty ball peen. You can see the shape of this. It's very unusual, but these were very unusually well-balanced hammers. Plum always used to put this kind of epoxy in the top. Their handles always stay tight a lot of times on Plum. They painted their handles this color, but it's a very light handle. It's an interesting hammer. We'll go through that. An aluminum C-clamp. I have one. I needed a matching one for it, and this is it. Aluminum. This was like $4. Of course, a beautiful Craftsman. Look at this Craftsman wide. This is just nice. Huh? Wait till you hear the steel on this. It's really it's a snap cut. You cannot pass one of these by in great shape for $4. The blade's perfect, and how to get that. And here, if you don't have one of these handy cuts, if you see one, grab them, because and the model number on here is 9-37301. I have one of these. I had to get another one because it's just, these are really fantastic for cutting all types of things. And the way they store the blade is very ingenious, because the blade's going to handle here if you want an extra blade. But what they do is, you look here, the blade is in there. It's in its little case, you see? Extra blades. It's not just rattling around in there. So, and it doesn't get lost. So what a great tool. This is something everybody should have, at least one. Next up, this is more of a rescue than it was a purchase. This here, and it was expensive. I paid $10 for this, which is crazy, but you could see here it's British made. Can you see that? It says British made. Usually King Dick maybe, but look at the horrid. That's why I said it's a rescue. Look at the flash lines on here. The forging lines. It's just, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And I know my my British friends over there who, the Brits did such great work on their steam engines and everything, and they just beautiful stuff. They were the first ones to take things over the top, and who would let this out of it? Look at that. That is just horrid. You got to be embarrassed to be working at a factory that's putting this out. Have you ever seen anything that looks so? That's factory. Now, you cannot blame that on being banged around. And I don't, don't tell me about war finish or anything like that. That is just, and the shame of it is that it is very solid as far as like slop goes. You know, it's well made. It's just they just gave up. They, made it so that it works, and then they threw it in a bin. And so I said, we got to save this, because if God forbid this thing, somebody sees this and they see British made and they say, look at the crap, I got to save it. I can't, this has a B308. So maybe somebody over there overseas knows what that means. But we're going to fix that one up and do it the way it should. Okay, next up, we're getting into the $10 stuff. And I was with my 357 Magdad, and we're walking around the tables, and I saw this, and we remarked, we say, oh, look, this is similar to the one that Joe just did on Joe's shop, but I said, I always want, and when I flipped it over, because it was on the other side, when I flipped it over, I saw the plates on here, these beautiful name plates from Black & Decker. You can see it's a 1/4-inch electric drill, 2,500 RPM. You see, that's what's missing today. You don't get, and look at that. So I bought it just for the nameplate. It was $10. It's a little on the dirty side, but what a cool little drill this is. And I didn't even try. Look, it's got the oil holes for the shafts and everything. But I spun it and I said, I bet you this works. And here's the thing that's cool. It's got the original cord. Now look at this cord. You don't see these cords. They're usually always been cut off at one time or another. This has the original cord. No cracks. No splits. That's when rubber was rubber, The only thing is over here, it's, got a little separation from here. But look, there's the original cord. I want to try this. We're going to plug this in. I didn't plug it in yet. And we're going to give it a shot and see how it works. But I'm telling you, I bet you this thing works. Look at that crazy switch, right? It's got that kind of weird switch with, and what's on? I don't even know what that means, on. Let's plug it in, see if it works. Okay, this is literally, I just plugged it in. This is the first time I'm trying it. Wouldn't it be funny if I got a shock on the air? Okay, we're going to give it a shot. Okay, now, I think this trigger, you might have to click it once to turn it on and then click it again to turn it off, because it did stick. So I don't know how this works. I got to check it, but let me do it again. Yeah, I guess it's one of those, I never seen this trigger. You got to pull it and then pull it again to release, but it works. I just want to clean this up. This is like a wall hanger, but look at that. Isn't that pretty? Next up, this is one of those items that when you need it, you really need it, but you don't use it too often. Look at this, though. It's a Craftsman. What a beauty. This is a vintage. You could see here, it's got the knurled steel here. No plastic on this thing. Craftsman chuck on here. Can you see that? And it's a right angle adapter. And it's so well made. There is absolutely no slop whatsoever. You could feel the quality in this thing. Quite heavy. Very heavy for this. Just beautiful. And I found it fascinating. I have a cheap one. But, they make them plastic now. But this one was in the golden age of Craftsman. Isn't that nice? Just beautiful. Okay, next up, this was the most expensive item I bought, and this was $25. It's a lot of money, right? Especially at a show. Check this out, what it is. It's a Exalite multi-purpose number 99 MP set. And it's almost complete. It's only missing a number 2 Phillips and a number 38, I guess, a Phillips. But look at that. Look at this. Is this not gorgeous? And let me show you what's so interesting. This was all made, this was Cooper Tools when Exalite started. In 1921, Bernie Farrington, he made a company called Park Metalware Company. They were out of Orchard Park, New York. And he used to sell tools under the XCEL name, and they really became popular. And by the 1950s, these were so popular for fixing television sets and any kind of electronic work. This was the go-to set, tools. And he changed the name to Exalite, and that's what kept on till this day today. But Cooper Tools bought Exalite in 1973, still made in the USA and everything. Everything was good. And then 2010, Apex got their grimy paws on them. And forget it, all bets are off now. You know what Apex does. Everything Apex touches turns to brown, if you know what I mean. So, but this is all USA set. That's why I'm so happy that this was a USA made set when it was Cooper Tools. Very interesting, all different. These are extensions. You got a smaller extension, a larger extension, and I got two handles. I got a T handle here, you could see. And what's so nice about these is when you put these in here, when you engage this in here, you see how it goes in, and listen to the way it clicks in. When it goes in, it is in. These have a positive engagement, they don't fall out. They're very, and you can engage all different, whatever your accessories. I got, I guess, the metric and standard hex, but these are, a lot of them, these are smaller because they were meant for electronics. These are extensions, like I said, that you can extend if you had to get into a tight area. You would put one into the top here like this, and then this goes into the handle like this over here. And you can see you have a very long, it's just a beautiful set, isn't it? And these do go, I looked them up on eBay, and some of these go for some very high priced, but they still make it today. They still make the same set today. Runs about $300, and like I said, $25, my most expensive purchase. Now, that was my most expensive purchase, but let me show you what my biggest purchase was. I was walking, I saw it from about 100 yards away, and I said, I'm buying that. If it's not crazy money, I want that. And I went over there and checked this out, what I got. Okay, what I bought was a sled, and this isn't just any sled. It's a 1970s Duralite racer. Had the aluminum undercarriage. These are pretty rare and just cool. They have this steering carriage underneath that you could see the top half would actually tilt so you could steer. And again, it is aluminum. We're used to the steel ones from years ago. This thing is extremely lightweight. It's just robustly made. It's really nice. And they are quite collectible. A quick look on eBay shows this is the 60-inch model, the one I have. That's pretty rare, but a lot of them are 48 inches you'll see around. But they were made out of Passaic, New Jersey. They were pretty popular back then. I will have to go through and do it when I restore this. What do you think? It's pretty cool, right? Last up, my good friend and Polish brother from Long Island, who you'll meet in a couple weeks when we have the Long Island show, hopefully. He brought down this gift to give me. He brought this from Poland. He went back to Poland, and he brought this to give to me, and this is fashioned after, and you can see here it says Poland on here. And for those of you who don't know, I'm part Polish and very proud of that part. And this was fashioned after the first adjustable wrench that was patented by J.B. Johansson in 1891. And Baco made a lot of these different ones, but this is actually a very good, they still make this design today. Can you imagine a design that has lasted unchanged for that long? And it's such a strange wrench because it doesn't have any comfort when you grip this. And I'm just going to do a quick cleanup just to show you how this works, because I've been playing with it. It's such a fascinating tool. I know my buddy Ben over at the Tool Addict, he has a whole set of these, and but these really do work. And let me just give it a quick cleanup just so that it works, but I really want to do a nice job on this. Okay, now this is just a cleanup, lubrication, wire brushing, took everything's nice, works beautifully now, this is, Again, this is all the regular forging, but this is a heavy-duty wrench, and I was playing with this for quite some time just to see how it works, because I never had one of these before. And you can see, loosened it up, you know, so now this goes up and down to adjust it for the size, obviously. And you can see when it closes, what happens to the jaws. Let me show you the jaws here when it closes. Look at the jaws, you know, how it closes in like. So this angle here, when it hits whatever you're trying to grab, pipe, nut, whatever, it'll grab and grip on. And let me show you what I'm going to show you on a piece of round stock. If you took a piece of round stock and put it in here like this, over here in the working against the back jaw, the top, and here, you notice when you squeeze it together, watch what happens. You squeeze it together, those teeth lock in there. Now I'm going to press down. You see I got it nice and tight. That is really a grip. I mean, I cannot, that is a super grip in there because it's got 3 sides on there. Let me show you what it looks like with different, and again, it doesn't oblong or put any real gouges into the tube. It's really a well-designed, imagine 100 years still unchanged. Let me show you on a different size or shape fastener. Now, hex nuts are always a difficult fastener because of just the way it has to have parallel grips if you want it to fasten a certain way. But if I've been messing around with this, and I can get them to the point where they're parallel. You see they're gripping on both sides, and when you squeeze down on this, this is not slipping. I cannot believe that, you know, it's been this long around this wrench, and I've never played with one before. This thing is really a gripping type wrench, and probably one of the best design wrenches I've ever seen as far as that, you know, simplicity and the form factor. Terrific. It works almost like a vice grip. Terrific design wrench. I want to give a special thanks to, like I said, my brother from Poland. Hopefully you'll get to see him coming up at the Long Island show in a couple weeks. But great wrench. What do you think of this? Pretty interesting, right? Okay, so in closing, went a little bit long on this video. Sorry about that, but it was a lot to get out. What was your favorite tool that I picked up today, or maybe the sled? Let me know. Thanks so much for stopping by, and hopefully we'll see you again on Wednesday. Take care now. Bye-bye.